Kyle Austin with Mike Griffith at Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, after Michigan State's, enormous, I guess, 17-14 win. Without Connor Cook, game-winning field goal by Michael Geiger. I mean, where do you start explaining how this happened today?
Well, I mean, it happened in the trenches. Michigan State dominated on the field. Again, a game, I guess a lot of people will see the last-second field goal and say, wow, Michigan State sure was lucky. Well, actually, they weren't. They were unlucky. They outgained Ohio State today, Kyle, 2-1, more than 2-1 actually. I'm looking for the stat here. 294 to 132 yards, 17 first downs to 5 first downs. Just complete domination on the football field, but 2 very costly turnovers that Ohio State turned into touchdowns, and that's how Ohio State was in the game. But at the end, obviously, Michigan State dominated, drove down the field. L.J. Scott took them down there, and Ohio running back and an Ohio kicker. And they left here stunning the crowd of over 108,000, a record crowd, Kyle. And boy, these stands sure did empty quickly.
I thought Michigan State's offensive line and its defensive front seven both had the talent to play like this, but we haven't seen them play anything close to this all year. Especially defensive front seven was playing good, I think, until they started getting banged up against Oregon. Offensive line obviously had his injury issues, but I mean these guys played. They look like a 2013 defense. Michigan State defense out there. That's what they needed. Ezekiel Elliott had been over 100 yards all
15
year.
games in a row.
15 games in a row. He got 33. I mean, you just can't say. I'm shocked how big of a step they were able to take come into this game.
And J.T. Barrett didn't do much. I mean, last year we said he played the perfect game, 16 to 26, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, another 2 running. Today
weather didn't help him.
Well, no, there was some wind there. I mean, it says the wind was 8 or 9, but it was gusting to 15 miles an hour. There was rain in the first half, but Ohio State seemed content to play field position football and power football with Michigan State. That was a decision that Urban Meyer made. Hey, he had a guy on the bench that won a national title last year. At any point, Cardell Jones could have gone in the game, but Meyer believed that his team would prevail in this sort of game, one of these who blinks first kind of games. It was just like Michigan. It came down to the final play. It came down to big plays against Michigan. It was Michigan State special teams making a play. And today, again, it was Michigan State special teams making a play, Kyle, after they almost gave it away when McGarrett Kings Jr. fumbled, and Ohio State recovered at the 6 for the go-ahead touchdown.
Well, you mentioned Ohio State had a national championship winning quarterback on the sideline. Michigan State had its winningest quarterback in program history on the sideline, too, with Connor Cook. And we're not going to talk, I don't think, a whole lot about Tyler Connor and Damian Terry because Michigan State ran the ball so much, but I think those guys did a good job of playing within themselves, doing what they're able to do out there, and managing the game and giving them a chance to win.
I think so. Damian Terry had a fumble, but I wouldn't put that on him. Joey Bosa kind of wrapped him up, and 2 other guys hit him. It was kind of a failure by the Michigan State offensive line on that one particular play. But you're right. I mean, I think Michigan State called the only kind of game that they could call to win that football game, and O'Connor and Terry executed what they were supposed to execute. And then the defense was just rock solid. They never let Ohio State get into any kind of rhythm.
Going forward now, obviously Michigan State controls its own destiny. Win at Penn State at home next week, and you're in the Big Ten championship game against Iowa. I believe Iowa's punched out. They haven't. They likely will. Do you feel they control their own destiny with the college football playoff? Is that 100% you think they get
I think it's 100% if they win the next 3 games. I mean, Ohio State was number 3. They're the defending national champions. They came into their building and beat them, or their stadium and beat them. Next week they'll play a 7-3 Penn State team, or 7-4 Penn State team. Pretty good football team. And then the following they would play Iowa, which is undefeated right now and still has Nebraska. And even if Iowa loses to Nebraska, that'll still be a top 15 football team. When you look at how Oregon's been winning, and Air Force with the win over Boise State now 8-3. I mean, the Spartans' resume looks pretty good. Western and Central coming into today were both over 500. You look a little bit closer at Michigan State, and I think their resume looks good after today, Kyle.
All right, well, that'll do it from Ohio Stadium. We'll check in with you next week. Until then, stay with MLive.com/Spartans.